Oh, there goes the male right there. You can see his gonopodium. From Sierra Leone in Africa, Betta Macrostoma. We have been getting a lot of fish in lately, but no package has made me more excited than this one. This one's a big one. There's a good amount of fish in here. Some unique, really unique species. Ain't no guppies in here. Love me some guppies, but ain't no guppies in here. This one came next day air. I actually picked up all these fish for free. A hobbyist, an aquarist, just like you and me, hooked us up big time and sent me these fish for the fish cave. You may know him, you may not. If you don't, you should. He's one of the most underrated master breeders, in my opinion, in the hobby right now, and that is Preston Dean out of Arizona. So these are all species of fish that were bred by him. Now, you may know him as being one of the first people to have bred the Shaldenti puffer. I'll spoil it right now. There's no puffers in here. Didn't get any puffers. Definitely interested down the line, but there's no puffers in here. Definitely check out Preston on Instagram and Facebook or YouTube. He's definitely really, I think he's more active on the Instagram. That's where I follow him and check him out most. As I get into this, a huge shout out to the Cichlid Shack. So definitely check out the Cichlid Shack if you haven't already. Their website or also on Instagram where I check them out. They are the ones who shipped this. This came overnight from Arizona. James is the owner. Big shout out to them. Pretty cool because I was looking through his old Instagram stuff and it turns out that he started in his garage just like me. So his garage, I'm not sure what it looks like right now, but at one point it looked pretty cool. You don't guys care about this. Let's look at the fish. We have 4 different species of fish here. Hopefully they all arrived okay. We have some pretty rare stuff here, guys. Like I said, this is not your grandma and grandpa's fish. No guppies in here. No live bears in here. Oh, actually, I take that back. There is a live bear in here. That's actually the main reason I reached out to him was because of a live bear I was interested in. Ooh, where do we go first? Where do we go first? Big bags are good bags usually. Let's start here in the middle. And we have a live fish. Oh my Lord. This is actually the honeypot. This is a Betta Macrostoma. That's right, guys. We've got some Betta Macrostoma. And this is one of the individuals right here. I was thinking this would be in the bigger bag and I didn't want to pull it first. Not sure if this is a male or a female. We got a couple juveniles. I don't know if we have a pair or not. Hopefully we'll be able to grow them out. These are packed amazing. He has them singly bagged, which makes sense. Oh my gosh. This looks like a female. The lines, the horizontal lines in her body. I'm not an expert on these fish. Leave a comment down below. I don't know how long it takes for them to, for the males to show color. Other than the species of fish, we have one species of snail. These are some spiked trumpet snails. Hard to see, so we'll just keep moving on those. I think what he did was probably keep some of the smaller species, some of the smaller species in the bigger bags and put a couple of them. Now these are Silibisi's rainbow fish, I believe. I believe this is the bag of the Silibisi's rainbow fish. Another cool, really neat species. Once again, these are all bred by Preston in his fish room in Arizona. He just hooked us up. He didn't charge us for these. And I can't believe how unbelievably gracious he has been. I never met him. He's someone to look up to in the hobby for sure. These are some tiger teddies. This is what I originally had reached out to him for. So that's why I kind of caught myself when I said no live bears. There actually is some live bears here. He hooked us up with 5 of these juvenile Betta Macrostomas. Like I said, I have no idea male versus female. Hopefully we get a pair or 2 out of these 5. Will be super, super neat. These guys are a mouth brooding beta. The males get a gorgeous, gorgeous coloring, guys. Speaking of gorgeous, gorgeous coloring, we got a trio of some killifish. And these are Zeli killifish. There's no way I can pronounce the name. These are striking killifish. Hard to see them colored up now, but I'm gonna go get these guys all acclimated into their new tanks in the fish cave. So we have the Betta Macrostoma floating in their bags. Once in a lifetime opportunity, or at least, and I don't know when I'm gonna get another chance to play with this fish. And I say play, but I really mean work with. I want to take this seriously, which is why I am filling this tank up with pure RO water. Had this for a while and have been just kind of dragging my feet in terms of setting it up, and it's still not set up completely. And I think it's 100 gallon per day. So we got the RO water coming into the new Betta tank, and the quote-unquote wastewater, still using that to do some small water changes in some of the other tanks, like the Pleco grow outs. Sorry, the glare is terrible. I just released the Betta Macrostoma into their new tank. They seem to be swimming normal. They don't seem to be swimming erratic at all. Like I said, you know, they are, what's it called, an anabantoid. Oh my God, so beautiful. Stunning fish. I got no light on this tank. There's almond leaves. They seem to be exploring and enjoying the tank quite a bit. I still got a drip going. I'm gonna fill it up a little more, not all the way, because these guys are jumpers. That's why I have this kind of screen reptile tap going on. I know for the next few hours, next few days, next few weeks, this is the tank that I'm going to be doing the count and making sure, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and making sure that I don't lose any fish. This is my first tank with RO water, my first wild bettas, my first fish that cost this much, that's this expensive. So a lot of firsts going on right here, trying to do it the right way. Hopefully a decent little setup for them. So it's been a couple days since we got the fish in the mail from the Cichlid Shack, or from Preston John via the Cichlid Shack. Awesome cooperation, collaboration for Preston to breed them and offer them to me. And then for, I believe his name is Jim, over at the Cichlid Shack, for packaging them just tremendously and getting to them, you know, shipping them overnight. I never got fish shipped to me overnight before, and you know, it can be expensive, but it's really worth it, especially when you're dealing with expensive, rare fish. And speaking of rare fish, this is the Atzili killifish. This is the male. And here's a look at the female. Still pretty cool and got some patterning, but won't get as colorful as the males. Preston said these are extremely rare. These actually come from Sierra Leone in Africa, which is a pretty worn, torn country. He said they're not that difficult to breed. In his opinion, all the fish that he sent me are pretty easy to breed, but that's relative, obviously. I think I'm up to the task, though. It'll be interesting and cool to get these guys going and hopefully distribute them. He said once they get going, they do get going. They are jumpers, just like most killifish, though. These are the Silibisi's rainbow fish. As you can see, I got them in a tank with the lemon blue-eyed plecos. Most of my tanks, I try to keep species only, and I do quarantine as much as possible. And I trust Preston. Obviously, I don't feel like he has sick fish, but just because you get sent healthy fish, the shipping process can stress them out, and just because you have a healthy tank doesn't mean there's not something in there. So you got a compromised fish, goes into your tank that has a little bit of something, it gets sick, and then it spreads. It happens. So definitely keep an eye on stuff. Looks like we got some males and females. The males are going to get a little more darker and black markings on them. These guys are not a live bear. They're actually an egg scatterer. These tiger teddies are actually the reason I had reached out to Preston. He had posted on Instagram that he was going to have some available. And actually, he had reached out to me a few weeks before and asked me if I ever kept them. And I said, no, I hadn't. But I had heard people talk about them. I think Corey over at Aquarium has talked about them before. And they're a tiny little fish, almost like a least killifish type size. These guys are a tiny, tiny live bear. And as you can see, there's kind of like that unique little pattern about midway through the fish. You see this kind of orange and darker vertical pattern. Really neat fish. They're very peaceful. They're hanging out here in the guppy grass, some floating guppy grass. They seem to be doing well. So I'm excited to work with these fish. I'm really excited to open the door to this new venture, and I have, you know, Preston John and the Cichlid Shack to thank for that. So I know I've said it 10 times and I'll say it 10 more. Huge thank you to Preston John for his generosity for gifting us these fish, and a huge thank you to Cichlid Shack for packaging them and shipping them to us safe and sound. These bettas and all the fish you saw today were bred by Preston. He's not an importer, he's a breeder. So if you actually want to check out his fish and other cool fish, you could check out Cichlid Shack. He's got an Instagram page, I believe it's cichlidshack.com, but they have a bunch of cool fish. And like I said, if you want to get Preston's fish, you go through the Cichlid Shack. That's how they operate out of Arizona. They're really awesome people. I appreciate you guys watching, especially to the end. As always, stay positive and stay passionate.